the things which are not related to dowry are obviously there in 498A, because the demand need not necessarily be for dowry. So even if you are not able to prove that the demand is actually dowry, even then a case of cruelty can be made out, because it does not restrict the definition of cruelty only to dowry. That's why I think valuable security is the term that has been used by the legislators in 498A IPC. Okay, so therefore, even if 10 years after marriage, okay, and prior to that there has been no demand, but 10 years after marriage there is a demand, okay, for some money, and in pursuance of that, if the girl is treated with cruelty, then the case is covered under section 498A. However, this will not be a case under Dowry Prohibition Act, okay, because this you cannot say dowry. For 10 years no demand, and suddenly after 10 years there is a demand and she is now being treated with cruelty. This cannot be a case of dowry. And here the expression consideration for marriage is the reason why this is not dowry. Because dowry is dowry because it is something that is as a consideration or in connection with that marriage. But here this demand has got nothing to do with marriage, and therefore this is not dowry. And yet it would be covered under 498A. Okay. I was supposed to talk about 304 capital B also, very quickly. Okay. 304B. Again, most of you have already read it, but those who have not, Dahej Hatya. Okay. Again, something which we have read so much about in media, but it's hard to, especially for somebody like us, to imagine that legislators can even be forced to make a provision like this. A marriage being solemnized with so much of fanfare can actually result in something like this is very, very hard to envisage or contemplate. But the hard reality is that every one of us is not so human, despite the fact that we are all human beings. And therefore we need laws like section 304B Indian Penal Code. The hard fact is that this happens. We kill so that we get someone else in her place, which can actually bring the very thing which she was not in a position to give you. Okay? So availability of a substitute can actually drive you to such an extent that, but in any case, killing was covered under the expression homicide, which is an offense under Indian Penal Code. Killing somebody is an offense, okay, and this is an offense right from 1860. I think even before that it was an offense. Okay, homicide was an offense. Okay, homicide was an offense. Then why do you need to again provide for a provision wherein killing will be made an offense again? Killing was already an offense. One human being killing other human being is already an offense. So why do you need to again make a provision whereby killing is made specifically a different offense? Yes. Second year, first year, second year wale koi? Yes. In connection with dowry. तो dowry के लिए भी मारेंगे तब भी तो 302 हो जाएगा. Murder तो ही है. Yes. Yashashvi, you were saying. Yes. Okay. She is very correct that the ambit of 304B is wider, that it even covers suicides. But even for homicides 304B, I think homicide you understand? Killing of a human being. Okay? Even for homicides 304B is applicable. However, for homicide, culpable homicide not amounting to murder and murder, both can also be attracted. You would study, when you will study criminal law, those who haven't, section 299 and section 300 of Indian Penal Code. 299 explaining what is culpable homicide and 300 explaining when culpable homicide amounts to murder. Okay, and 299 is culpable homicide which is not amounting to murder in a way. Okay. This is what we are generally aware of. Like one individual killing other individual, you are invariably covered under 299 or 300. Just that it has to be some, it cannot be an accidental one. If it is accidental, then it can be section 304 capital A, causing death by rash and negligent act. Okay, for which the maximum punishment I think is only 2 years. Whereas for 299, it can be 10 years. And for 300, it can even be death. Okay. So she said here homicide is also covered. Suicide is also covered. This is given. But what is more important is that under section 304B, the onus, the degree of onus of proving the case on the prosecution has been reduced, lessened. The degree of proving a case against the accused persons has been reduced by section 304B, and this is the reason why you have a 304B despite the fact that suicide, abetment of suicide is also an offence under section 306 IPC. Is it?
Yes, sir.
So abatement of suicide is also an offence under section 306 IPC. Homicide is also an offence under section 299 and 300 IPC. Punishable under section 302 and 304 IPC. At the same time, you also have 304B IPC, specifically dealing with what it calls dowry death. Okay. The reason being that the degree of proof required in other provisions of Indian Penal Code is of a higher degree, okay, beyond reasonable doubt, okay. But here you do not have to prove in the same manner in which you have to prove the case had it not been under section 304B IPC, okay. What it says, if again it deals with married woman, if she dies within 7 years of marriage, her death is unnatural or it's a case of suicide, and soon before her death she has been subjected to cruelty for or in connection with the demand for dowry. Okay, and here also dowry definition is important. If she is killed for a demand for money which is not dowry, section 304B will not be attracted, even if she dies within 7 years of marriage and her death being unnatural. Okay. Okay. So what the prosecution needs to prove? She died within 7 years of marriage, her death was unnatural, okay, and there soon before her death, and soon does not mean soon. Soon only means that there is a connection between the demand for dowry and her death. If this connection is proven, you have proven soon, even if soon was 4 years back. Okay. Soon does not mean soon literally. Soon before her death only means that there is a direct link between the demand for dowry and her she being treated with cruelty and her death. If that is proven, soon is proven. Okay. So what you need to then prove that there was a demand for dowry, subsequent cruelty, died within 7 years, unnatural death. Okay. Then in that case, law says that such husband or relative who have treated her with cruelty shall be deemed to have caused her death. That means, very importantly, prosecution need not prove that the accused persons have killed her. Okay? ये आपको prove ही नहीं करना कि उन्होंने मारा है. You only have to prove cruelty in connection with dowry, unnatural death. She died within 7 years of marriage, and there was a link between her death and demand for dowry and cruelty. You don't have to prove that the accused persons have killed her, which you necessarily have to prove if you want to prove a case of homicide. Here you don't have to prove that. Okay, so obviously, as I said in the beginning, the degree of proof required to convict an accused has been reduced in section 304B IPC. Okay, you can obviously think about that. Is it not unfair? Okay, if it is unfair, it can be challenged on the ground of it being unconstitutional. Okay, yes. So therefore, such laws are also vulnerable when it comes to constitutionality. But this, I believe, has now stood the test of time, if not of courts. Okay, and for all practical purposes, this is a valid law. Okay. Okay. This is again, if you look at it from the point of view of husband and in-laws, this appears to be a very draconian law. Why? This is because this is also, as is the case with section 498A, prone to misuse. Because it even covers suicide. Suicide also. You cannot say उसने suicide कर लिया, तब तो और भी है. If you are being charged under section 304B और आप कहें कि उसने suicide किया है, हमने कुछ नहीं किया, बोले यही तो चाहते थे कि तुम कहो suicide किया उसने. Because that goes against you. She committing suicide means you caused her death. She commits suicide, but under section 304B, the fact that she committed suicide means you caused her death. And therefore, you have sealed your fate by accepting that she committed suicide. So that cannot be a defense that she committed suicide. Okay? If you are saying she committed suicide, also prove that there was no demand for dowry and there is no cruelty. Just that she committed suicide. She was not happy. She was not happy with me, she committed suicide. This can be a defense. But she was not happy because of the kind of cruelty she was meted out for her in connection with the demand for dowry, and then she committed suicide. Then the case of section 304B has been proven. Okay, and what is the punishment for dowry? Death. 7 years. Maximum punishment is 7 years. तो कम क्यों है? You must be wondering. इतना जघन्य अपराध है, इसके लिए इतना कम क्यों सजा है? Yes, because again the same reason, because the prosecution's burden of proof is comparatively lesser, and therefore there is a likelihood, perhaps there is an acceptance even in this law that there is a likelihood that the person actually may not have been, at least compared to the degree of crime involved in a homicide, the guilt is not comparable to that, and therefore the punishment should not also be similar to what is provided for cases of homicide. Okay, and therefore the maximum punishment is only 7 years. But that does not mean merely because the punishment is 7 years, this is therefore not so strong provision against husband and in-laws. Okay, the fact that the onus of proof required has been to a great deal lessened. Okay, makes it, ये तो compoundable हो ही नहीं सकता, लेकिन इसमें भी practically speaking compounding होती है. Okay, but that is not typically compounding. क्या होता है कि आपकी तो बेटी गई, यस,
ब्लड मनी वाला
ये होता है, ठीक है। माय फादर इज एन एडवोकेट, ये सब बहुत होता है। अक्सर उनको उन्हीं को डिफेंड करना होता है। सो दिस हैपेंस, है ना। उनको कहते हैं हम जेल चले जाएंगे तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा। दैट डज नॉट मीन आई एम एक्सेप्टिंग कि मैंने उसको मार दिया या मेरी वजह से वो मर गई, बट द फैक्ट इज दैट इवन इफ आई गो टू जेल व्हाट विल यू गेट नाउ, है ना, ठीक है। और जब 3-4 साल बीत जाते हैं, दैट्स हाउ वी आर, इजंट इट। जब कुछ होता है तो सडनली, बट हमारा दुख, इट्स अ प्रूवन फैक्ट, जो हमारा दुख है वो अस्थायी होता है। हाँ, इट्स अ फैक्ट। जो आपको पीड़ा होती है वो टेम्पररी होती है, ग्रेजुअली यू डोंट फील इट, ठीक है। आप एकदम बैठ के आप याद करेंगे तो भले दुखी हो जाएंगे, बट जनरली यू मूव ऑन। Yes, but then you also become pragmatic. When you learn to live with the pain, you realize वो जेल चला जाएगा तो क्या होगा, है ना, कुछ हमारी स्थिति, ठीक है। So ऐसा करके उसके बाद क्या होगा, you don't support the case of prosecution. These things happen. Okay. और ज्यादातर केस जिसमें बच्चे होते हैं उसमें और ज्यादा होता है। वो क्या कहते हैं, बच्चे के लिए कुछ पैसे दे दो, तुम शादी करने लिए कर ही लोगे, ठीक है, तो तुम जाओ, बच्चा हमारे पास रहेगा, इसके लिए कुछ दे दो, और कोर्ट में हम खड़े होकर बोल देंगे और हॉस्टाइल हम सब हो जाएगा, ठीक है, तो तुम ऑटोमेटिकली बच जाओगे। दिस इज ऑल्सो इन अ वे कंपाउंडिंग, इजंट इट? नॉट लीगली कंपाउंडिंग, बट ऐसे भी कंपाउंडिंग होता है। होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए, दैट्स डिफरेंट। Obviously, going by the spirit of law, that should not happen. Okay, but we are not every one of us, but generally, I have seen even brothers, fathers, they have taken money so that they would turn hostile. In cases wherein the son has been killed, in cases wherein the brother has been killed, and they take money and turn hostile. Okay, and this happens. उन्हें भी ये लगता है 10-5 साल बीत गए, 20 लाख रुपए मिल रहे हैं, भाई तो गया ही, ये जेल जाएगा, मुझे क्या मिलेगा, 20 लाख ले गया, 6-7 महीने वो जेल में रहा ही है। Should it happen? But then you cannot say I will not do that, because that would be a hypothetical response. हम लोग सब बहुत ऐसे आइडियल सोचते हैं, but when you are actually faced with, okay, I'll tell you, I'll end by telling you a real case which my father was dealing with, and you cannot imagine the extent of agony and yet compromising, the extent to which a human being can actually compromise. The case was that the father-in-law raped his daughter-in-law, okay, and after that he has put acid in the eyes of his own son, whose wife he raped. Okay? The son became blind. Okay? And then there was a case that he has raped his daughter-in-law. Okay? And daughter-in-law only has lodged the case against her father-in-law for doing all this. And in the court she turned hostile. And why she did that? Because she was only breadwinner in the family was her father-in-law. And she realized that now her husband is also of no use practically so far as earning something is concerned. If अगर वो भी जेल चला जाएगा तो हम क्या करेंगे, ठीक है? And she turned hostile. Hostile means she did not support her own case, and the father-in-law was therefore acquitted. And she decided to live with him only. So that tells you the real reality is very grim. In the courtroom, she said, no, ye nahi. Okay? So therefore, we need to have that empathy first of all. When you read and when you want to become a volunteer for such causes, if you are not in a position to feel the pain which that person who has come seeking help, then perhaps there's no point thinking of doing something. So therefore, having empathy is very, very important. All of us talk about it, but then when it comes to doing something, I'm not saying I'm also like that. Perhaps even I do not possess that mettle. But then we need to think on those lines, okay, as to whether we possess that empathy or not. Because we are all privileged. है ना, आपको जिनको प्लेसमेंट और नौकरी नहीं भी मिलेगी, फिर भी आप लोग सब बहुत privileged हैं. Isn't it? Don't think मेरे सारे क्लासमेट को इतनी अच्छी नौकरी मिल गई, मुझे नहीं मिली. You are still very, very privileged. Okay? And only then can you feel the plight of others whom you want to help, being a member of such a cause. So always feel privileged, and only if you feel privileged that you can do something for those who are not so privileged. Okay? Stop thinking that why I am being always singled out as somebody who is not going to get things which my fellow classmates or my friends are always getting. You are still very, very privileged. Okay? We cannot even understand what they go through. Okay. Thank you.